Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video will help you use the formula for surface area to find the surface area of a prism. Okay, and the formula is going to be the same for all prisms. So the first thing we need to do, step one, is identify the base. And I always like to draw it out to make sure I'm on the right page. So I look at my prism and I notice that I have a triangle on this base and a triangle on that base. So I have a triangular prism, so my base will be the triangle. So I go ahead and draw the triangle out. Now the next step I like to do is say, well, I know if I have a triangle that the formula for finding the area of the triangle is area equals 1/2 base times height. Now I have that piece. Okay, so now I've determined that I'm dealing with a triangular prism and I know my formula for my area of a triangle. So now I need to find its perimeter and area. So the perimeter we know is just adding up all the sides on the outside of a shape. So we're dealing with a triangle, so my perimeter will have to deal with the triangle. So I know I should have 3 numbers. So my first number in my triangle is 5. So I put 5. I'm going to add that to another 5. Put that 5. And then now I need to go along the bottom of the base, and I know that they're the same, this number and that number, so I will have 8. I have 5 plus 5 plus 8. That is going to give me 18 feet. And I'm dealing with area, so that will be squared. Now the next I got to find the base. And that should be easy because I know that my area of the base should be 1/2 base times height. Okay, you want to make a little side note. All of this right here is equal to the big B in the formula. So the capital B here is area equals 1/2 base times height. So I need to put 1/2. The base of my triangle here is 8. So I'm going to multiply that by 8. And the height of my triangle would be this line right here. And that's pointing to this, which would be 3. So I put a 3 there. And I know 8 times 3 is 24. And 1/2 of 24 would be 12. So I will have 12 feet squared here. Okay, and perimeter, I'm sorry, I'll back up and take off that squared there. I got ahead of myself. Perimeter is just feet because it is a single dimension, just lines. Okay, now I must deal with the H. Now H is where a lot of people get confused in this formula. Don't get this H here confused with this H here. Okay, they're not the same. Okay, because this H is within the base. So once we find the base, we no longer use it. This H, I like to think of it as the depth of the prism, and it actually stands for the height of the prism. So I see the height is going to be the line that connects the 2 bases. So there'd be this line right here is my H. So that would be 7. So 7 feet for the H. Okay, so whatever line goes between the shape that you drew initially, because if you notice we drew a triangle and a prism will have 2 of those that are equal, it's a line between those. Okay, now all I got to do is fill out my formula. So my perimeter I found out was 18. My H we just found as 7. And we're going to add it to 2 times the base, which is 12. Now, the reason there's 2 is because every prism has 2 equal bases. So it's 2 of those. Okay, so now I would just take 18 times 7. That would give me 126. Okay, and I'm going to add that to 2 times 12, which would be 24. Okay, and I'm going to go right over here to finish it out. Let me move that up so you can see it. So it would be 126 plus 24, and that will give me 150. 150, and since we're dealing with area, it will be feet squared. So the biggest steps to remember is your big B represents the area of the shape of your base, and your H within your formula is the depth of the prism, or the height of the prism, or the connecting line between the two shapes. Alright? Well, I hope that video helps. Stay tuned for more.